Well, hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk all about my makeup brushes. So yesterday as I was cleaning my brushes, I had this idea of dedicating a whole video to my brushes collection. Now, I know this is something that has been done a lot before, but usually people talk about their favorite brushes, their most used brushes, their go-to brushes to apply foundation, blush, and all of that. And where this is something that I enjoy and that I will eventually do because I think it's interesting and fun, I wanted to do something a little different today. So what I did is that I made a list of 10 questions that I'm going to answer. It's 10 categories, if you will, for which I will each time talk about one or several makeup brushes that I own. This way I thought that I could cover my collection of brushes in a way that would be more fun and entertaining. So let's go. Now, I made those questions myself and I'm going to answer them, but of course, I invite you to replicate this video, to take notes of these questions and to answer them in return, because I would be curious to see what brushes go in which category. So, question number 1. How many brushes do you own? Now, this is something I was quite curious to figure out for myself because I feel like I have a lot. I obviously do. I know this is excessive to a lot of people, but at the same time, I also don't feel like this is overwhelming. So I was wondering just how many brushes I owned, and I have 59 face brushes and 78 eye brushes. Now, some of them are technically not an eye brush or a face brush, but it's just how I use them. But let's just say overall, I have 137 brushes, which is a lot. It's kind of embarrassing because up until 2 weeks ago, I had 136 brushes, and yet somehow I felt the need to purchase another one, which I will show later on. So do you need 137 brushes? No, definitely not. Do I like owning that many? Yeah, I do. I do love brushes, and there's some of them that I don't necessarily use. I like brushes. I really like them. So sue me. Question number 2. What are the most underrated brushes you own? For me, that would have to be Sephora brushes. I feel like they're overlooked. I'm sure there's a lot of people who love them and talk about them, but from what I can tell, I feel like I'm not hearing enough about them, and they're really, really good. They're not the most affordable brushes you can find on the market, but they're definitely not high-end prices, and honestly, they are really, really good. So I have a few different kind of collections here. This brush, this is a blending brush. It's honestly one of my favorites. This is part of a set from their regular collection, I would say. This is part of, I believe it was a holiday set that I got on sale last summer. And I mean, the packaging, can we talk about it? I know it's not that important, but it matters to me to some degree. And they're really nice. And this is actually from a collaboration between Sephora and a French YouTuber. And these are amazing. They sold out I think within a couple of days. And it was limited edition, so it's not available anymore, unfortunately. But these are so freaking soft. Honestly, it's very good quality. Like I said, it's not the most affordable, especially because this was sold in a set and you had to buy the whole kit. But I mean, yeah, when you look at how many brushes you got and the quality of the brushes, I mean, it's just really good and overlooked, in my opinion. Question number 3, what are the most overrated brushes in your collection? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say Zoeva. I have mentioned this before. Maybe you won't be able to see it here and I'm gonna look crazy, but basically this brush in particular loses its bristles like crazy. I take good care of my brushes, generally speaking. So I honestly don't think it's anything bad that I could have done, but see, it's just brushes flying everywhere. And it's a shame because I do like this brush. I still use it, honestly, but anytime I do, I end up being frustrated. I'm not saying Zoeva is a bad brand when it comes to brushes. There's some of their brushes that I love to use and I use constantly, even this one, which is pretty bad in my opinion. It's more so that I was highly disappointed because I bought a set that was quite expensive. I mean, it's a value set, so you get your money's worth, but still it was kind of a steep price. And at the end of the day, I don't think that they're better than my Sephora brushes and even sometimes some Primark brushes. So that was a bit disappointing. Now, I like them. I use them. They're not the most comfortable. They're not the most pleasant to use. And like I said, I have 1 or 2 brushes from that set in particular that just lose their bristles a lot. And so to me, these brushes are a bit overrated. Question number 4, what is the most expensive brush you own? I had to make some research because I truly didn't know, but it turns out that it's a MAC brush. This is the 137S and it looks like this. This retails for 49 euros. Now, I got this on sale a few months ago, and I believe on the Belgian MAC website, it is still on sale. I'm not sure for how much, but it's not sold for its full price anymore. But still, I mean, technically speaking, yes, this is the most expensive brush I own, and I almost never use it. A few months ago, like I said, I did buy a few MAC brushes because they were on sale, and there's some of these that I feel like I haven't used enough. It was just kind of like, okay, I love brushes. MAC makes amazing brushes, and they're on sale, so I'm just gonna go ahead and purchase them. So I definitely need to use that more, especially now that I know how expensive it actually is. Question number 6, you saw this coming. What is the most affordable brush that you own? Now, it's hard to tell because some of these I got in a set and they're not available anymore, and I cannot figure out which one was more or less affordable, but generally speaking, I would have to go for my Primark brushes. Primark makes very affordable makeup brushes. It's kind of hit and miss. There are some brushes of theirs that are just not the best. Like this one, this is supposed to be a pencil and powder smudge brush. It is super stiff. I almost never use this. I keep this anyway because I don't really have any other brush like this. It might be useful one day. I think that generally speaking, if you're gonna use a Primark brush, maybe don't stick to whatever it says on the title of the brush and try to find your own way to use them, because sometimes it just doesn't really match with what it's supposed to do. I also have this one from Primark. You can tell that, I mean, it's an interesting shape, but you can tell that the quality is in here. It's quite irregular. This one, however, this is supposed to be a precision concealer brush. I actually use this to apply my MAC Painterly paint pot when I prime my eyelids, and I always go back to this one to apply that product in particular. I don't know why. So yeah, Primark, generally speaking, very, very affordable. Not always the best, but there's a few hidden gems in there. Question number 6, what is the biggest brush you own? This one takes the cake. This is from Primark as well. This is huge. This is honestly huge. I don't think I've ever used it, or maybe more on my body or whatever, because it's very big, but it's also quite dense. So I feel like if you're gonna use powder all over your face, it might be quite visible. Yeah, I keep it because I might use it one day, but it's definitely huge. And just for the sake of it, I also wanted to add this one. This is from NYX. I don't know why I bought this. This kind of a shape you would typically use to put on highlighter, but this is too big for highlighter. I mean, at least I think it is, unless you want to do it on your body, but then same thing, it's not going to be super precise, and I don't know how to use this brush. Basically, I bought it because I had never seen a brush like this before, and I mean, it's fun and it's cute, and I love brushes. Like, what can I say? But yeah, I rarely ever use it because I don't know how to. So there's that. Question number 7, what is the smallest brush that you own? I have a few of them here. This one is a Zoeva brush. These are actually liner brushes, but I don't use them for that purpose. This one I use to apply lash glue on my lashes. This one from Sephora I use if I want to hide a pimple, correct something on my face, and be super, super precise. I use this with a concealer. And this one I believe is truly the smallest of them all. This is from Morphe, and I've actually never used it because I usually don't like to use a brush like this to apply my eyeliner. I should try this one of these days, just for the hell of it. Question number 8, what is the oldest brush you own? And I would have to go for my Kiko brushes. I bought these at the same time. It was a very long time ago. It was actually before I got very much back into makeup, back into like watching YouTube videos about makeup and all of that. I was starting to wear a bit more makeup again, whereas it was something that I had kind of put to the side for a while. It was probably still a couple of years, like I said, before I got truly like crazy back into it. I don't hate these brushes. Some of them I actually really like this one I like for bronzer. This one is definitely not one of my favorites, but yeah, like I said, I keep my brushes. I can't really get rid of them. I also want to mention this brush in particular. This is the MAC 224S. This is a cult classic. I want to mention this one because it is not the oldest brush that I own, but it comes right after these Kiko ones, and it's definitely the first high-end brush that I bought. At the time, I was watching a lot of Tati Westbrook's videos, and she was always using this brush, and her eyeshadow was always looking amazing, and I thought this was a good investment, and it was. This is one of my most favorite, most used brushes. Like I said, it's not my oldest, but I still wanted to mention it because it's my oldest high-end brush. Question number 9, what is the newest brush you own? And this is very easy. This is my IT Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush. Will you look at this? Is this completely useless? Yes. Is this so freaking pretty to look at? Hell yes. This I have heard about for years and years. This is a brush that they do every year as a limited edition to fight or bring awareness to breast cancer, I believe. Like I said, it does come back every year, but it's always, I think, limited edition. So I was never able to put my hands on this. And then a few weeks ago, I saw this on Cult Beauty and they had a sale on the item, so I picked it up. I'm not sure how much I paid for it. I'm pretty sure that if you look at the full price, it's probably up there in price, but yeah, I had a discount, and like I said, the opportunity was just too good to pass on, and so this is my newest brush. And finally, 10th and last question, what makeup brushes are on your wish list? And that's super easy. It is something I have mentioned in my Will I Buy It videos before, and it's gonna be Sigma brushes. I have heard of Sigma brushes for as long as I've been watching YouTube videos. Fun fact, when I bought this, that Zoeva set I told you about, I was actually going for Sigma brushes. So I was at the flagship store of Sephora on the Champs-Elysees in Paris, and the French Sephora does sell Sigma brushes, but it's only online, which I didn't know that at the time. And so I went into that flagship store. I asked an employee there if they had Sigma brushes, and they told me no. So I could have ordered online, but at that time I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't quite sure how it worked. And I mean, I wanted brushes right then and there. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy Zoeva. It's a bit less expensive. And in my head, it was almost the same quality as Sigma brushes. I can also easily get Sigma brushes on different apps that I have, like I believe on Beauty Bay. I'm pretty sure on Cult Beauty as well. Look fantastic, I think. Like, I know I can have easy access to these brushes online, and on every app that I have, there's at least a couple of Sigma value kits, you know, with a bunch of brushes in my wish list, yet somehow they never found their way to my basket. This is a brand of brushes I really want to buy and try one day. As you can tell, I have enough brushes, so I need to make this a point to not purchase any more brushes unless they're Sigma. So that for sure is on my wish list. Okay, so that is it for today's video. Like I said, feel free to make a list of these questions and answer them for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And I will see you guys later. Bye.